welcome back to the Rugby Connection podcast, the only place for the ins and outs from the rugby world. Well, we've actually had a few weeks off because there was so much rugby, we forgot to talk about it. But we're back then, final full week, should I say, of the Autumn Nation series, and then some predictions because Club Rugby returned, and we've got a return. Andy's back after what feels like about a month already,
It does feel like a while.
Yeah. How are you getting on, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you? Have you been enjoying the Autumn Nations?
I have
You must have enjoyed the weekend.
Yes, it was a very good game. Very good seats. Thank you, Autumn Nations, for that. That was lovely. Yeah, it was fun. But we'll dive straight into it.
Great.
Friday Night Lights. France winning the trilogy. I think people forget that they did have a series in the summer against Argentina. 37-23. Now, this was all France in the first half. It was 30 points to 9 at halftime. But Argentina don't like going down without a fight.
No, they don't.
And it wasn't the prettiest of games, but Louis Barry has wheels.
That he does. I really enjoyed that game. Like the physicality.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest of games.
No, there were errors and stuff, but I really enjoyed it. Like the both teams, just the collisions, like the physicality and the pace of it as well. Like France have looked really good this autumn. And when they're really good, they play at such a crazy pace. Like, it's mad to me that they didn't have in that game Aldrit, they didn't have Penno. I mean, with Ntamack injured, they sent Jalabert home, and they're still going out and getting these results in autumn.
That's so Jalabert thing. I'm glad you touched on that, actually, because it's like there's been a fallout. There's rumored that there's been a fallout between Galtier and Jalabert.
I've fallen so far into a Twitter hole on this. I was like copy and pasting because sometimes the translate function on Twitter isn't very good. So I was taking people's tweets, putting them into ChatGPT to translate them to try and find out what the detail is. And it seems like there's loads going on in that French camp based on all of the rumors that I heard and wasn't able to verify.
Go on, do share though. We love rumor.
So the backstory was. So Jalabert did fall out with Galtier, apparently. He found out he was going to be on the bench and Ramos was going to play at 10. And Jalabert's whole thing was like, well, look, either I'm starting or I'm going home. And Galtier was like, bye-bye. I'll see you later. And apparently, Penno and Jalabert are very close, playing club rugby together and all that. And there's also a historic sort of beef between Aldrit and Jalabert, because do you remember that try that Penno scored when Aldrit was trying to let the ball bounce into the in-goal area and Penno snuck up on him from about 60 meters away for Bordeaux against La Rochelle? If you haven't seen the clip, go and watch it. It's amazing because the whole stadium is in on it. The game is in Bordeaux. And as Penno is rushing up, the crowd all stay quiet so that Aldrit doesn't know that Penno's right behind him. But apparently, in the aftermath of that try, Jalabert got in Aldrit's face and kind of mugged him off a little bit. And so there's always been this kind of simmering tension. Again, according to the rumors that I've been reading about. So it sounds like some tete-a-tetes. Yeah. But what's so funny is those three guys weren't involved and they still went out and put on an amazing performance and beat Argentina. Like they beat New Zealand without Pinot. Like, that's massive.
Oh yeah. I forgot Pinot didn't play.
Yeah.
Oh well. It actually just shows that you don't need them. Really?
I mean, I'm scared for France this Six Nations. I think they're going to have a really, really good Six Nations this year.
It's going to be a very tight. Not all nations. It's going to be a very tight Six Nations. But
there's 4 teams can win it. Honestly, I believe there's 4 teams can win the Six Nations this year.
I feel like I know the 4.
Everyone except Wales and Italy.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't feel like we need to deep dive and guess who Andy's on about it. But yeah, France getting a grand slam, if you put it, of the Autumn Nations, beating Japan, beating the All Blacks, and then beating Argentina. Yeah, good stuff. And then, like you said, without Pinot, without Jalabert, they don't need them, evidently.
It's such a shame that they didn't manage to schedule a game against the Box, because I think that would have been
good.
That would have been top tier. I think,
always next year.
Yeah, always next year is right. the only two teams in the world who can pull off the 6-2 properly, I think. France and
That's
South
fair.
Africa.
Yeah,
Like
I think that's
France
fair.
just have so many big bodies to bring off the bench. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is it. Wardy, the prop that came
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
his head just goes down to his shoulders. It doesn't make sense. I'm not even trying to like sound harsh. That's how he looks. He looks like it's just all one piece.
Mate.
Yeah. Anyway, he's a big boy. That was the point I was trying to make there. But yeah, France getting the win.
Oh, quickly before we move on, how about Olivon? How good was he?
So good. I was very skeptical because I know how good Olivion is, but is he an eight? I was like,
Apparently.
apparently is, yeah. No Audrey, just put Olivion in, it works. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Then you've got the big Emmanuel Miafo. He's a terrifying human. He's like
Mate.
he's like a younger Will Skelton.
He can walk through tackles. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's no, terrifying
Yeah.
forward pack. Saturday was a bit more of a thumping for the most part. Ireland get a big win over Fiji, 52 points to 17, and the young lads put on a show. Gus McCarthy.
Yeah, Gus McCarthy. How about that for a debut? Has anyone
I
ever
love
got? I mean, outside of New Zealand, because I'm sure there are New Zealanders who've had ridiculous debuts. A try and 3 assists on your debut is not bad.
And for someone that wasn't actually part of the team, he was just like, "Come train with us. You'll learn the ropes, and then whatever he's been doing in training." Andy Farrell went, "I want you."
What's he played, like 4 games for Leinster or something?
If that, yeah,
It's mad.
insane.
Brilliant.
And Sam Prendergast's getting to see what he's like at 10. He had a shaky start with the yellow card.
Yeah.
I do see it from a lot of different views.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
think the yellow's fine. I think that's the best decision.
I think it's like a yellow is probably the most common sense call, but at the same time, he's a bit lucky, right? Players have been players have been sent off for that. Like if he'd been given a red card, I don't think he would have been able to massively complain about it. Yeah.
Do you think if it was a red, that would put us like starting opportunities back a bit, or
No, because it was like,
no.
I think he's tried to just hold his line and not move out of the way, and he's caught the guy. It's not like I don't think there was any intent there. I don't think. Yeah, I think it would have set him back in the sense that he couldn't have played the rest of the game, and there aren't many opportunities. But like they obviously really rate him, so I think we'll see him in the Six Nations, maybe against.
Fair enough. There you go.
Maybe off the bench against Wales or Italy or something.
Makes sense. And again, it's not one of those that you want to, but they're the most teams that make sense to try something new because we'll get into it in a minute, but it doesn't really matter what you chuck at Wales. It'll stick for years. Bundiaki though, 34 years old, 176 meters. Like, what are you trying to prove?
Still very, very good.
He is still very good.
Well, he's got a Lions tour to try and go on, hasn't he? So
to try?
But you know what I mean. Everyone's auditioning, right? Like
I know. It's just one of those. Like you just watch him. I'm like, who are you showing off for? Like, what are you trying to prove? But no, very good game. Fiji just were not in this at all, and it was quite sad because it was a stacked team. They had Caleb Muntz, they had Frank Romani, Tuisova, Kolevu, Vinakolo.
Yeah.
Nothing stuck, which is a shame.
A few things didn't go their way, but they also it looked like when Ireland put the pace up, their structures just couldn't hold. Like, I don't know whether it's cohesion or what it was, but
possibly they do this really annoying thing when they film it. I know TNT Sports does it for Premiership Rugby as well. It's just something they love to do. I think it's to try and get more like dramatic effect.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Ireland scored, they didn't show Andy Farrell. They showed the Fijian head coach, and you could just see him like, "It's fine."
I don't know why you don't have to do that.
Yeah, literally every score.
Once or twice is fine.
Every score, it was just like, right, we get it. This man is hurting. watching his his job just like fall away from him. I don't think he's gonna get sacked, but you know what I mean. It's just
No,
one of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
You just see the life drained from them. I'm like, please stop showing him. This is like making me sad.
I
We're
saw
enjoying
some I saw some posts online suggesting he had a few words to say about the ref after the game. Is that genuine?
Oh, I don't know if he did. I
Ah, okay.
knew a lot of people were not happy with Holly Davidson, and I'm telling people, shut up. Honestly, it was a joke. Like some people were like criticizing her positioning. I thought her positioning was great because
She
she
did
kicked.
she did set up the Aki try. But the crazy thing is she knew it and she asked the TMO. She was like, I'm pretty sure I've created that hole. The TMO was like, no,
Yeah,
try's good. Like, what's up with that?
yeah, yeah. I missed that. I face planted. Can we check that? Hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's like, nah, it's fine.
that's fine. It's all good. Don't worry about it. But like there was a comment that stuck out to me on my socials, and it was she's not got enough experience to referee in an international game. I was like, but the only way you get experience is by doing it. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. You're not born with all the experience. That like if we were all born with the experience, you'd be a centurion for Ireland, and I'd be a centurion for Scotland because we've
Absolutely.
got that. Yeah, it was honestly, it's like this modern day thing where people just say stuff, like open their mouth and let their belly rumble. Honest, but no, I thought Holly Davidson actually had a very good game. She was not biased. She called it right down the middle, and she didn't take any shit. She didn't give in to any of the players. She was nope. That's my decision.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No,
Cool.
she
Yeah.
was good about it. She was firm. Like that's always important. How funny was is that clip of Muntz almost hitting her in the head
But
with
yeah,
the ball before the
smooth.
game?
He kept a cool face, so he didn't panic.
He did, yeah. Oh, mate, he wasn't worried. He was all right.
But Ireland's building nice momentum because you had a shaky start at the autumn. Let's
Yeah, like
yeah.
you know, I think at the weekend Fiji were really poor, right? So
Yeah.
and Ireland had their part to play in that. Like there were periods where the pace was really there and they looked really good, but it'll be interesting to see how they do against Australia because
Mm.
you know they Australia seem like quite a good litmus test at the moment because like a very settled Scotland who knew what they were doing won that game against Australia pretty easily, but Wales and England obviously got smashed and floundered. So I think if you're a good team who's on a good track and who knows what they're doing, I think you should beat this Australia team because they're still building. So we will
Makes sense.
see. We will see how Ireland do on Saturday. I think that'll be a much better indication of where they are.
A very good way to put it. And just to complete the sadness of the year that is for Welsh rugby,
Yeah.
they, I can say they tried.
They showed a lot of heart, I
They
thought.
did. They always do. But
Yeah, but even for them, I thought they showed a lot of heart. Because, like,
yeah, no, I get what you mean. But
you know,
45-12 to the reigning world champions, the Springboks. Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert getting the opening scoring, which was not on the bingo card. Carly
Etzebeth's
Allen.
got some gas, hasn't he? Like,
Yeah. It was such a weird game because people were saying that Box didn't really leave everything out there.
they didn't have to, did they? Like,
No.
after 20 minutes, I
And
was
like
really worried. I was like, this is going to be 70. Like,
oh
this is
yeah.
really ugly. But fortunately, they managed to keep it down.
Just took the foot off the gas really, didn't they?
Mm. But I mean,
It's,
it's natural.
as and like people are praising and I don't like doing this because it's a really weird one to do. Like Jack Morgan getting 26 tackles. Unreal. But I'm like, yeah, but look at the game. They were under the it's not like it was a very balanced game and he was just putting in the big shift. They were under the pump the whole game.
Yeah, but like the commitment levels, a
Oh
lot.
yeah, no, I'm not taking that away from. I
Yeah,
always say. I
I
think I
know what
said
you
it to
mean
you.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I said it to you over the summer. Like Debbie Lake, always heart on his sleeve,
always.
and again, it's something I really don't like in just sport. Don't interview the losing manager or the losing captain straight after a game. As don't come up to them and go, "Well, you just lost every single
Yeah,
game.
it's funny,
How
isn't
do you
it?
how do you feel?" And they're like, well, not great. Yeah, it's it is the stupidest thing, and like Warren Gatland. So I know you only get a short period of time with each person after a game, and Warren Gatland got asked like 4 times if he was staying or if he was going,
Yeah.
and you could see it. And I'm like, I've not had any time to think about this shit. And they're like, but if you stay, what needs to change? And you can see, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
Do you want me to quit live on TV? I was like, geez, yeah,
I
right.
think that is what they wanted him to do.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Just, yeah. That'd be interesting. But where do Wales actually go from here? Because there's glimpses, but there's not very many glimpses.
Well, look, they have to take it like one step at a time. Like this Six Nations,
Mm.
for it to be a better Six Nations than last time, all they have to do is beat Italy. That's the only thing that, if that changes on its own, and I'm not suggesting that beating Italy is going to be easy for them. I just mean that they could get
No,
smashed
no,
by everyone else and they could win that Italy game, and it's a better tournament than they had last year. So I think they have to look at it that way, you know, because it's going to take time.
oh, yeah. Just saying it used to happen to other top countries. We've all
Yeah,
had it.
yeah. This is the thing. Like people have ups and downs, and we all, because there's so few test matches in a year, we all make big, broad statements after like 2, 3 games, you know, and a lot can change in 2, 3 games. So if I was a Welsh fan, I'd be like bracing for probably another difficult year, but it will turn around.
Obviously, if Gatland does leave, who even takes the job? Because it's not like it's a lucrative job at the moment.
No, it's like it's a difficult. I don't know if anybody's going to want to walk into that. You know,
Mm.
if you've got Gats, I think maybe you stick with him. But I saw someone talking about like you think about the great Gatland teams, and it was when Wales had monsters in the team,
Yeah.
like really big lads who were really big ball carriers, and it gave them the momentum they needed for his game plan to work.
Mm.
They just don't really have that at the moment.
Not at the moment, no. But this is I was speaking about this. So every team, like, it's a World Cup cycle. You've got 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in new players at the start, their experience, and you have the older heads kind of fading out near the end. But Wales, instead of doing it in a 4 year cycle, did it in like a 6 year cycle.
Yeah.
So they almost like rushed the process of the younger lads and didn't have any experience for them to lead on. They just chucked everyone out, which like I love like Christianza,
Yeah.
but him and Alan Wynne Jones would make so much more sense.
Yes.
Or Jack Morgan with Justin Tipperick. I know they still do it at Ospreys, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Or like I think who else? Like Kieran Azarati rubbing shoulders with Ken Owens. That
Mm-hmm.
would have made more sense. But now you've got all the young lads together. Like, what do we do? Like, you've not got that experience to be like to dig you out the shit. Essentially,
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
it comes
That's
down
it.
to.
That's it. Right.
But I hope it happens. I don't like seeing stuff like this. I do like to see all the teams going for it.
Yeah. Cherry on top of a pretty good year for the box, though. Has to be said.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It's been a very good year for the ball. So I can't get coach of the year though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Rubbed
It's
so many people the wrong way
a
that
lot
one.
of a lot of chat about that, but yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
We did have a very underrated game. I didn't think it was going to be as close, but All Blacks getting the win over Italy, 29-11. But it doesn't feel like that. It was a very strange game. Like Italy really front up compared to what they did at the World Cup last year.
Oh, worlds
Yeah,
apart.
miles apart, like totally so far apart. You'd think it was a totally different country, totally
Yeah.
different team. And yeah, it was a really good game. Like they had the All Blacks rattled. It was an emotional game for the All
Oh,
Blacks.
Jesus.
Sam Kane said
If
goodbye. TJ leading the
yeah.
haka. Yeah.
But if the Italians could have hit a line out in that 10-minute
Oh
period
yeah.
in the second
Yeah.
half, like they were in with a shot. in that game if they'd been able to make that pressure count. But
yeah,
I mean, look, as you say, to go from shipping 70, it was more than that,
yeah.
wasn't it? They lost by 70.
It was 90.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To go from that to, what is it, an 18-point loss? Like that, it shows how far they've come.
it should
And
have
as
only been
well,
an 11-point loss as well.
sorry.
But I'm saying it should have only really been an 11-point loss, but they decided to let's play it quick and give space to
Yeah,
bounce
that's
back.
that's very true. That's very
I was
true.
like, why did you do that? Of
Do
all the players to give space to.
you know what I absolutely loved in that game?
Mm.
There's a lot I loved about New Zealand, but Italy first. The noise when Menoncello stripped away to score that try, even though they
Yes.
still really had no shot of winning the game. How much the fans enjoyed
Mhm.
that moment, and how much he enjoyed that moment.
So good. I heard that possibly Zebra's getting sold.
I've
I
heard
don't
about
know.
that.
Yeah, and it might go to Turin. I'm like, go do it.
That would be amazing.
That would
Jesus,
be
suddenly,
great.
suddenly Zebra away sounds pretty good. I'll
Yeah,
make that. I'll make that trip.
but they really this would help Italian rugby. Go to Milan, go to Turin, go to Venice for the time you can. I know that Venice is like thinking, isn't it? I don't know how true that is, if it is
No, it
thinking or
is. It is. I
and
don't know how long. I don't know how long they've got though.
maybe don't do it then. For a long time, maybe
Oh no, I
don't.
meant the other way. I think they've got a while.
All right, it's fine. But you know what I mean? Like Turin, Milan, Florence.
Mm.
Go there.
Well, they've got some momentum now. Like I
Yeah.
saw their whatever the Italian Sky subsidiary is televise more Benetton games now, and then they've obviously televised the Italy games, and like there is because they're improving, there is a desire on the part of fans to get involved. So like absolutely roadshow.
Be great. Plus, I'd like to go to Italy for the rugby.
Quick word on the All Blacks and their
Mm.
newfound ability to win ugly as well.
Yeah, that's dangerous now. Now that they
Yeah.
know how to do that again, that's not fun.
Squidge when Razor took over, Squidge predicted that. That was the video. When Razor took the job, he was like, he's going to teach this team how to like win in an arm wrestle, and I
Oh no!
think he's been proven right over the
Oh
season.
no! The minute Razor knows how to like, right, this is how I'm doing it, and the players go, cool.
Yep, got you.
Watch out! Like everyone's on notice then, and he's already
Yeah.
got some scalp. He's already got some scalps, and he's just looking like, I'm a good coach. I know what I'm doing.
Yep. Good first
Well,
year.
I mean, they've already released their fixtures for next year.
Are they?
Well, it's been leaked by multiple sources, and it seems that is what's been came out is what they're doing.
Okay.
So they've got the 3 tests against France that hasn't gone down well because France are like, yeah, you're not getting the big boys.
Yeah.
um, they've obviously got their tour to South Africa. And then their autumn nation series or Grand Slam end of year tour, whatever you call it. They're at Twickenham, they're at Murrayfield, they're at Principality. They are taking on Ireland
Yeah, in Chicago.
in Chicago. Why?
Because they're trying to sell it to Americans. And there's plenty of Irish in Chicago.
Do it in Boston. There'd be even more.
I wonder actually. I wonder where there's the most now.
Stinking because like Boston Celtics and I'm pretty sure is it Chicago or is it Boston? The river goes green for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's Boston, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. See what I mean? Just do it in Boston. Makes more sense from a logistical standpoint. Sure, buddy, I'm Irish. No, bless you for trying. Yeah, no, that'll be a very fun tour. But closing out on the Sunday, Scottish Gas Marfield, Scotland 27, Australia 13. I was there loud and proud, and oh, those boys didn't miss. It was a shaky first half, but once we came out of the blocks in the second half, you weren't stopping us. How fitting that former under 20 will be international. Scotland captain, might I add. Sione Tupuotu scores a try and then throws the guns up to his granny from Greenock that's became like a national treasure. Have you seen the advert?
Yeah. I've seen the video.
No advert for traveling should be that emotional, but well done. Hits you right in the field. Finn Russell getting a try. Not very often we see Finn actually
Yeah.
got down to 5. Where Kinghorn just really, really putting his hand up for what's to come later at the end of the season.
It's some battle for that fullback jersey.
So tasty.
Yeah.
Every battle now is kind of like lining up quite nicely, quite neatly.
Yeah.
Darcy Graham's putting his hand up, didn't score, but was just
Another good show.
so much issues. Josh Bayless, maybe not for Lions, but Josh Bayless really putting his hand up to start for Scotland.
Yeah.
He beat 3 defenders on a good step.
Shouldn't have scored. Shouldn't have scored from there.
It's unreal. The record is 2 hands. Again, I'm going to get bored of saying this because it will constantly change. I feel sorry for the social media team because they keep making a different graphic every week.
Listen, mate, it's free content. They don't have to do anything. Don't feel sorry.
It was a good try. Doohan really felt like he was up for this game.
He had a good game.
Which is what he needed. Apart from Ben White, the whole Scottish backline played the full 80.
Interesting.
There you go. And we had like Tom Jordan and Kyle Rowe on the bench. Just didn't use them.
Yeah. God, didn't need them, I suppose.
Matt Fagerson, 50th cap. Hell of a shift as well. He's really trying to think. He's played every game he's played this autumn. He's done the full shift. And he's made like 45 tackles across the 3 games.
Speaking of a shift, Jamie Ritchie.
Oh, yeah. For someone, because usually when you lose captaincy, you kind of start falling out of favour for the national team. You don't really get picked because, well, we've got a new captain now. It'd be a bit. It's almost like a break. Like it'd be a bit weird if you were there. Jamie Ritchie's like, no, I'm still a good player, and yeah, just really put his hands up and didn't cause any fights this week. So I'm proud of him for that.
He was half involved in one, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I feel like I remember him and Skelton getting in each other's faces a little bit.
I think if one starts, he can't help himself. But I don't think he actually playing the start one. Although speaking of the fights, just before we quickly move on and round up, Tom Wright with Sione Tuipulotu. Like, I know you, and no, I know what you do. And
what do you reckon Suoliti said to him?
I don't know. Even Sione's like, what? There was a clip of that. I think it's on the Mall or Nothing with Ryan Wilson and Matt Reed. And they asked Sione, like, what did he say? He's like, I have no idea. He's like, I don't even know if I didn't know he was barking at me. He's like, he put in a hit that I definitely. He's like, I felt the hit, and I got back up, and then I just looked up and he's mouthing off, and he's like, "All right, mate." But then he broke his wrist.
Oh, I saw maybe not. Yeah, they're in the media talking about potentially him being available for the Ireland game, which I really hope so because I want to see him live. But
oh yeah, you're there. Yeah. I was really excited to see him live, but then he went off quite early, so I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to But got to see Tom Wright play Pantomime Villain. Yellow card, not yellow card.
I mean, he didn't change his line. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing, but so did Ben White, though. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're Ben White, you know he's not going to move. You can try and go around him, or you can run into him and you can make the referee make a decision, right? Like, those are your 2 options.
Okay, yeah.
So I'd say, like, it's the kind of shithouse behavior that you don't want to stamp out of the game completely. So I'm glad that the ref it the way he did. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm with you. But Scotland building really nice momentum for the Six Nations. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
I was going to say, like, it feels like every year this is where we end up before the Six Nations. Everyone's like, God, I'm looking at Scotland. It's looking good.
Although,
can they deliver?
I will say, I'm not saying we're going to, but I think next year might be our best chance. Because England are a bit in disarray. Well, not disarray. England aren't where they want to be.
Yeah.
Wales are horrifically further now.
Have you got to go to Paris this season? That would be
Paris on Super Saturday. That's the final game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
tough. That's tough. But I'm worried about because Ireland have to go to Murrayfield this year. I'm worried about
okay.
Murrayfield because
I yeah,
we've
we have to take this because we've not beat you
yeah, and
since you had Will Smith.
we've had some luckiest. I was there the last time you beat us at Murrayfield. I actually went to that game. It's
Oh, nice.
the only time I've ever been to Murrayfield. It's amazing, but it was a not a good day. Um,
It was a good day. Don't
well,
lie.
yeah, fair for you. For you, I'm sure it was a great day. But we've had a few lucky escapes at Murrayfield in the
Mm.
last few years. Like there's been a few times where the game's been there for you and you just haven't quite been able to take it. And we've managed to preserve that record. But I am concerned about this season because like you guys are looking good.
Plus, the big one, Farrell's not there. Like, so do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do what we did to Wales. I remember this. We beat Wales, but Howley was in charge because Gats was away, and then
Oh yeah.
Gatlin still didn't pick many players. But on to that part, pick pick a lot of Scotland players. There's a lot of good talent there, but just yeah, don't take the defeat to heart if that happens.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. Just and then final game of the full week of the Autumn Nations, England got their win over Japan.
They did. I mean, we knew they would, right?
Yeah, there's some people in the comments like, yeah, we're back. Like, you beat Japan. Calm down. It was fine and like 59-14, but it was fine. It wasn't a perfect game by any measure. Fair play to the forwards for fronting up. Jamie George getting two. Sam
Yeah, yeah.
Underhill for the short period of time that he played, got a try. Kevin Dickey came off the bench to get a couple. Yeah, got some
Yeah.
muscle on the forwards.
It
That was
just
all right.
feels it just felt like an opportunity missed to see some different players,
Yeah,
you know?
I think because of how the results went with the other
Yeah.
fixtures,
Yeah.
Borto's, I need a win. I'm just going full whack. I'm like, don't do that. But I'm glad to see that Apoka for sure is now capped. Very
Yes.
capped. Sensational. So I'm excited by that. But that is the full Autumn Nations just because we are running out of time because Andy has got a very serious job to go to and I have the school run. We're just gonna we're not even gonna think about it. We've got URC and Prem back this weekend. We're just gonna
Yes.
predict it. No in depth, nothing. Just who's gonna win.
Okay.
We'll start with the URC Friday
Okay.
night. Glasgow Warriors versus Scarlets at Scotstoun.
So you said we were going to go straight in, but I do have one quick question. Are they going to ask international players to come straight back in and play?
I
Or
don't know. I really don't know because
surely
my head
not?
my head says no because Europe. We've got Champions Cup and Challenge Cup next week.
So everyone will rest.
Because I've already heard a rumor. Sorry, I know we're going to do
No,
predictions.
no, go ahead.
Leo Collins basically said that like Jordy Barrett's going to be with Leinster this week.
Oh, wow.
Might not play, but like they did hint heavily that he's going to feature against Bristol Bears.
Interesting.
So there you go.
That's exciting.
That's
Sorry. All
very
right.
exciting.
Back to Glasgow.
Yeah, Glasgow,
Yeah.
Fortress of Scotstoun. Yeah. Well, Irish Derby, Ulster versus
Yeah.
Leinster. The Kingspan.
Interesting one. With no internationals, maybe, although no, Ulster will be missing a few, and Stockdale got injured. So
Oh yeah, I'm still going Leinster though. Yeah.
I'll probably say Leinster. See, Ulster signed Augustus off Saints. That's a great piece of
Yeah.
business.
Such an out of pocket signing, but I love it. Was not expecting it, but I'm like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, really good
Um,
work. Really good work from Ulster.
Absolutely. We've got a South African derby next, Sharks versus Stormers.
Ooh,
I found out the Sharks have never beaten the Stormers in the URC.
really?
Yeah,
That's an interesting
that's a
one.
bit
I
weird.
guess if there's no box, you maybe fancy the Stormers.
I think, yeah,
Maybe.
probably, yeah. They've not been like as
Yeah, it's one of
positive.
those. The Sharks. Yeah, it feels like you just never know what sort of performance you're going to get. But when they've got everyone
Yeah,
available, they look like championship winners. And then other weeks, you're like, how have they not won that game?
yeah. It's a really strange setup, but I think this streak will continue. I've got Stormers.
Okay.
You look like you can't decide.
I really can't decide. I'll say Sharks to keep it interesting.
Okay. Cardiff versus Dragons, little Welsh derby. Not that matters any much. Cardiff probably.
Yeah, I'd say probably Cardiff.
Connacht versus the Bulls. We're finally mixing things up a little bit.
Ooh, tell you what, might be a good game.
It will be. I think it will be. I'm trying to think who's been more affected with internationals.
The Bulls, surely, and the Bulls have lost Aronsa. He's gone to Japan. Um,
Oh yeah, I've got Connacht winning that then. There we
I
go.
think at home, I think Connacht have a shot. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bulls did a job though.
Especially this time of year. Who knows what the
Yeah,
weather's going to be like in Galway? Uh,
I do.
then Saturday night,
It's going to rain.
it's going to rain. Does it always rain?
It usually rains.
Usually. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not great. But, Edinburgh versus Benetton. I'll be there. Back your team. Edinburgh need to win.
I think Edinburgh. Benetton usually aren't brilliant on the road.
Oh no, they beat us twice last year, which doesn't. I still don't know how. But anyway, Munster versus the Lions.
Interesting one.
Because Munster's not got Graham Roundtree anymore, which is, I think people actually forgot that happened because of all the internationals.
Yeah. If you're the
Munster,
Lions, I think you're looking at that and you're thinking we could get a scalp here. Like this is a
yeah,
real opportunity.
Might
It's
edge
not
it to the
like
Lions.
it's not like they've had international players playing the Lions, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going the Lions. Why not?
I think maybe the Lions. It depends who Munster pick though, because like if the international players are available and Munster are able to put out a strong side, then oh, but hang on, they can't be because Ireland are playing this weekend.
No, they
Yeah,
can't.
okay,
Ireland's playing,
yeah. I'll say the Lions. Sorry, Munster fans.
And Zebra Osprey rounds off the return of the URC. What a pump game to end.
Ospreys, go on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, give some hope to the Welsh. The Prem is also back. We've got a double header on Friday night. Quins versus Bristol.
Yeah, just a high score. I don't want to pick that. I'll say Quins because they're at home, but I think there's going to be tries.
I'll say Bears just to keep it interesting. Newcastle versus Saracens. Don't even know why I bother asking. What's the point?
I think we all know where that's going.
Newcastle with a win.
Yeah, of course, right?
No, it's going to be Saracens.
Yeah.
Saturday, Northampton Saints taking on Gloucester.
Ooh. With no internationals.
Gloucester would have all their Welsh boys back.
Do you reckon they'll pick them?
Yeah.
Oh, but
Probably.
hang on though. Williams was injured.
Oh, yeah.
Was Anscombe injured? Or did he just not play in the last one?
I don't know. I thought he was injured. I don't know.
If Williams was playing, I'd say I'd give Gloucester a proper chance. But if he's not, I'm going to say Northampton.
I'm probably still going to go Northampton. Just because.
Yeah. Being at home counts for a lot, you know?
Oh, it does. Absolutely. Bath versus Exeter Chiefs. Come on. Please get a win. We've been doing well in the Prem Cup.
Yeah.
Rob Baxter's went like full noise each game and just absolutely split the youth development because, well, we don't have many players away for internationals. So
yeah, and you needed that regrouping time, didn't you? I mean, like,
yeah,
Bath will be missing quite a few.
they all have the Scottish contingent back though.
Yeah, I still think Bath, but we'll see.
Oh, you suck. Not my stuff. It's fine. No, back at you. I've got Chiefs for the win. And then on the Sunday, Sale Sharks, Lesser Tigers. I really don't know. That's a really weird game this season.
Sale have been strange this year. Like,
yeah, very.
I have a feeling about Leicester for this one, but maybe Sale can turn it around.
Not easy winning at the AJ Bell, but
it's not.
If you're going to win such an unpretty match, it would be Leicester Tigers. It would be Leicester Tigers to get.
Yeah, I think Leicester are the team to do it, and just after the international break is the time to do it as well.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And there we go. Sorted. All Nation. Oh no, one more game. I don't know how I forgot that. Ireland, Australia. You'll be there loud and proud.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Ireland should win it.
Should be the keyword.
Should being the key word. But we have been a bit up and down this autumn. Um,
All I'm saying is it's going to look pretty good for us if Australia get the win. Just go, oh, you can be Australia, really?
yeah, yeah. But the way they played against Scotland makes me think that they won't be able to live with Ireland.
No, that's fair. No, I get that.
You know,
But if we look how they did against England,
but
oh
again,
my,
it's like Ireland or Scotland wouldn't, like the Wales are struggling, right? So like Australia
yeah,
winning that game, like fair play to
well,
them, they won it really well. But Wales are
yeah,
in the hole. England allowed themselves to get drawn into this crazy back and forth game, which they had sewn up and won twice in the final couple of minutes, and still managed to let the Aussies come back into it. Like I don't see, Jesus, knock on wood, but I don't see Ireland doing that.
no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I said this. I think it was like so. The Lions graphic I sent you.
Yes.
Somebody was like, "That's too many Scottish." I was like, "Well, it's not." I was like, "Scotland are the second best team out of the four." It goes Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales. That's
According to
just what.
the Australia results, yeah. And according to where the teams are probably at the moment.
Yeah, look at the rankings. Look at the results.
Yeah, true.
Look at the form sheet if you want to look on who's won the
Yeah.
games. I know we've played. I know our summer tour really helps us look better, but it
It's
is what
it's
it
a
is.
it's a shame you didn't play one of the top nations in the summer now, because we'd have a really good picture of where everybody was, you know?
I'm fizzing. I read something last night, right? So we all know that the Lions tours are like June, July time.
Yeah.
So all the big boys are over there. Apparently, Scotland are going to New Zealand.
I heard about this.
And I was like, don't do that. Don't do that in 25. Don't do that yet. Do that
Yeah.
in 2026.
26. 26.
Yeah. Jeez, don't, no, God, no. But yeah, I've got Ireland winning, and then we hammer on to the European rugby is back next week.
Yeah, European rugby's back. And then before you know it, it'll be Six Nations time. And yeah, the whole thing goes again.
Like, yeah, we're just gonna keep going. Me, Andy, Ella, if we could get Ella back, because Ella is everywhere for like Super Rugby teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Get Cedric back, maybe. I don't know. Everyone's very busy. It's very hard. We've got such a big community, and yet everyone has very busy lives. And then you've got TikTok, and then trying to make podcasts on top of it all.
Right.
It's fun. But hey, we're actually back this week. I forgot to upload the episode a couple of weeks ago with me with me and Devon. We recorded it. It was a very good one, and I just completely lost track of time and didn't post it. So I apologize. And we didn't record last week because, like I said, everyone was busy. And I mean everyone. I'm like, hey, you've not been on the show in 6 months.
Mate,
You do?
during
like, no.
during tournaments and stuff is the hardest
So,
time.
yeah.
Oh,
But hey, always a joy talking to you, bud.
same to you, mate. I'm sorry I've got to rush off, but
It's fine. We're just signing off anyway. We're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We're on Spotify. Leave comments. Interact with us. We're on Instagram. I'm on Instagram again. I'm being careful. It's Bliss for Rugby. There's the it's now. So don't just add
okay.
Bliss for Rugby because that's not me anymore. I am on TikTok, just Bliss for Rugby, because that didn't get touched, thankfully. I'm not starting that again. I worked too hard the first time round. Give Andy a follow. He's at Rugby Nose. I think you're like what 70,000 followers deep now.
Yeah, we're
He
ticking
said
along.
that so nonchalant as well.
We are ticking along.
Yeah, but
It's
he's
funny
smashing it.
actually, Murray. I had a nightmare the other day that the same thing happened to me.
Oh no.
As happened to your Instagram, yeah. It was very upsetting.
Thing is, right? I got a new phone. This is so out of pocket, but I got a new phone and it was asking me to log in. Like it saved the detail. I was like, "You div." I was like, "Did you let me save like the hacker's password so I can just go in and change it?"
Did it?
I've not tried it. I'm too scared to, but it's still just like saved on my phone. I'm just like, hmm.
Might be
I might
worth looking into that.
the original was for I'm back, like 900 followers. It's still not a big account, but compared to 60,
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely makes a difference.
And it's even better when like Matt Cantona is following you.
Oh,
Not
happy
following the
days.
new one. Yeah, but yeah, no, we're back. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, you name it. All the social media were there.
All the socials.
And we'll be back next week talking about all the club rugby and predicting European rugby because, like Andy says, it never ends. But until then, enjoy the rugby. Have a good one. Andy, I'll catch you in the meantime.
See you next time.
See you later.